All right, in this video we're going to show how to do the process of a full clutch adjustment on a Harley Davidson with a cable clutch. This is something you're going to want to do with a somewhat regular frequency on your maintenance routines. If your clutch begins slipping, or maybe a clunky clutch, or just having problems shifting, you're going to want to do a full clutch adjustment. That means that you're going to have to go into the primary to do this by taking the clutch inspection cover off. It's more than just adjusting the clutch lever up at the handle or the clutch cable. The first thing you're going to also have to do on this is lift your bike up, put it on a stand so the bike is upright. Once you got the bike in a upright position, I'm using a bike jack stand that I've used in most of my videos. First thing we're going to do is take the clutch inspection cover off. Okay, once you take the clutch inspection cover off, you're going to want to get free play in the clutch handle. So we're going to use the cable adjuster to do that. You're going to get the boot off first, snap that little clip off, get your cable out, and you can slide the boot off of the cable. So we've got a jam nut, and this is our cable adjuster. So we've got to loosen the jam nut first. Okay, so we're going to get our wrenches on here for loosening the jam nut. Go, break it loose, roll the jam nut all the way back. We're going to loosen the clutch adjustment up until we get a lot of free play. Right now the clutch is adjusted the way it's supposed to be. What we want to do is get this to where there's no friction zone at all in there. All right, and then we're going to turn this clockwise, and that's going to loosen our clutch and give us free play in the clutch. Service manual says a large amount of free play, so you can only take it up though to the point to where it bottoms up against the jam nut, and that at that point is a large amount of free play. Okay, so as you can see now we have a lot of free play, and we're ready to go to the primary and begin the clutch adjustment. Next we're going to loosen the jam nut on the clutch adjuster screw. Now that can be really hard to get off sometimes, so just back that off. Okay, next we're going to take an Allen wrench and we're going to put it inside of the adjustment screw. And what you're going to do is you're going to turn it clockwise to take out all the free play of the clutch until it's lightly seated. Now you could jam it hard here and do it, but we're talking about just where it's lightly seated. You'll feel it grab. If I turn it more, see, I can really jam it in there, but you don't want to do that. So we're just going to do it until it kind of grabs and stops. Now as you're doing this, if you go up top to the clutch, you'll notice that your clutch handle now is no longer has free play like it used to, and that's what you want. Okay, now we want to activate the clutch lever to make sure the balls are seated in the ramp. So we're just going to do that a couple times. All right, I'm going to show you what it looks like down below as well. Okay, so I just want to show you below. When I pull the clutch lever in, you can see the center of the clutch basket moving there a little bit. It'll move more once we adjust it. Once you seat the balls in the ramp, you're going to turn your adjustment screw half to a full turn counterclockwise. So I use the curve of the Allen wrench to know where I'm at. So I'm going to turn, there's half a turn. I'm going to go 3/4 of a turn. Okay. Okay, now comes kind of the tricky part. You're going to turn your jam nut after you've adjusted your adjustment screw to the correct amount of turns. And that's why they tell you half a turn to a full turn. It's going to give you some slack while you're trying to adjust this. And while holding it, you're going to tighten this. Now, unless you have a special torque wrench, this is where it's going to get hard, because you can't really torque that while you have the Allen wrench on there. So tighten it up by hand as much as possible and then get your torque wrench on it. All right, so now we're going to torque it. Specifications for this motorcycle is 72 to 120 inch-pounds. So I'm set at 96, that's directly in between there. And here we go, I'm already torqued. Okay, once you get the jam nut tightened on the clutch adjustment screw, you're going to come up to the clutch handle and you're going to do it 3 times to set the ball and ramp release lever. Okay, now you're going to turn the cable adjuster away from the jam nut until you eliminate any slack at the clutch handle. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to get the correct amount of clutch adjustment. So what you're going to do is you're going to look here at the ferrule. This is the ferrule, and the clutch lever bracket, that's this part. And you can pull this out a little bit. So what you're going to try to do is you're going to get 1/8 to 1/16 of an inch of pull of the ferrule out of the clutch lever bracket. And to do that, you use the adjustment screw on the cable below to change, when you pull it out, how much you have in there. So it's actually correct right now, but I want to go ahead and loosen it some to show you what could happen. So I rolled the cable adjuster towards the jam nut, and now you can see how much difference it is. That's about 1/2 inch. So I'm going to want to back it off again and pull it. That's probably about, I don't know, 3/16. Once you start turning it down there, it doesn't take much to get the right amount. That's about 1/8 of an inch. There we go. That's about the right amount. 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch is the correct amount of ferrule pull out of the clutch bracket lever. Okay, now we're going to tighten the jam nut against the cable adjuster. Once you've got that 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch of space. Okay, now if you have problems with the boot, which it can be difficult, I just squirt a little bit of I put lithium in there. It'll help slide it over the jam nut. Okay, be sure to put it back into your clamp. Now we're going to put the clutch inspection cover back on. Just hand tighten it. Of course, we're going to use a star pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll hand tighten it, and then we'll torque it to specs. Okay, and then we're going to torque them to specification once we get them all on. Same pattern, you know, the star-shaped pattern. And our service manual says 84 to 108 inch-pounds, so I'm set at about, I don't know, 98 inch-pounds or something to that effect. Okay, we're going to go ahead and lubricate the clutch cable as well. That's not in the service manual, but we're going to go ahead and do it. So I'm just going to come in here with a cable lube and a hose and cover it up and spray some in the cable. Pull it back out. It is kind of messy doing it this way without like loosening the cable entirely and taking it off, which I do have a video on. But you can get some in there, work it down, turn the handlebars to the right side so it'll flow that direction, and then just work it in. Okay, so that was the process, the full process of adjusting clutch on a 2013 Softail Deluxe. The process is going to be about the same on any make and model of Harley cruising touring bike. Be sure and subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and check out our website at rideitwrenchit.com.